Hello and welcome. Welcome to A Lovely Time, a podcast where we speak to comedians about what constitutes a perfect day. My name's Amy Gledhill and my idea of a lovely time is a lush bath bomb bigger than the sun. My guest today is stand-up comedian, podcaster and socialist historian supremo. It's Jack Lewis Evans and he's my old housemate. So imagine that. And we got to record this one in person and it was really lovely and I got to inspect all the bits of his house and really judge him. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's have a lovely time. To explain, at the very top, this is an unusual A Lovely Time because I'm sat in person with Jack Evans. I'm looking in his eyes right now. We don't like it.
I don't like it. I look away. I either have, my eye contact is either 100% or 4 to 5%.
Yeah.
And I know people 100% scares people, so I have to keep it low.
Should we just look at our knees? I can't actually see mine, but I'm sure they're under them somewhere.
Look at each other's knees.
Look at each other's. Look, you've got lovely knees.
Thank you.
Your trousers look like a very nice material, soft, like brushed cotton.
They're my comfy trousers.
Oh,
Really nice.
Jack's got loose. Also in the room we have producer John.
Here he is.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Ah, we don't usually let him on. You might edit this out.
I'll edit that out.
No, keep this in, John. And we're sat in Jack's new house.
Mm-hmm.
What he earns like a proper adult man.
Yeah, I'm one step away from my dream of landlording.
I knew you were on your way.
Yeah.
I knew you were on your way.
I'm going to be the first land king. They thought it wasn't possible.
You reckon if you bought 4 houses on this street and then put a hotel on it,
Yeah, built on top.
built a hotel on top of the 4 houses?
Turn one of the houses into a Londis.
Oh, at least one, yeah. Or a spa, they're more expensive, I reckon.
Yeah, both.
Oh God! Imagine having a spa in a Londis.
Exactly. This is land king thinking.
Land king. So we've got Land King, future Land King Jack Evans, off of Mandatory Redistribution Party podcast, and off of Stand Up, and off of Escape the North, and off of just being a boss producer of Tiredness Kills,
That's a good show.
and other things.
Yeah. The Jane Edwards Show.
The Jane Edwards
Also
Show.
produced by a lovely time.
Also produced by A Lovely Time. So you
Copyright
sort of...
TM.
It's, John, was that a wanking or a celebratory?
It's like a bukkake.
I was wanking everyone off.
Wow.
I don't think we should do this in person.
And yet he didn't finger anyone, and a lot of it's the Jane Edwards Show, female act, and I host A Lovely Time, female act, and yet he was only wanking dicks off. So, you know, you think you get so far with equality, and then you just pushed right back down.
This glass ceiling's covered in cum.
Yeah, but only male cum. And that's the problem. So you're spinning a lot of plates. You do a lot of things, don't you, Jack?
Yeah. I'm possibly addicted to stress. It's been said to me before, and I think the more I think about it, the more I think, oh, maybe.
You are, of course you are.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, is it?
I feel like if someone could, I feel like I'm a stress junkie.
Yeah.
And if anyone can refer to you as any kind of junkie, you fucked it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
So
the
being
only way
a
I can live.
stress junkie, A Lovely Time, that could be a challenge.
Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a try. And
Try your best.
if you get too relaxed during this conversation, I'll get producer John to start nipping at your ankles or something to invoke stress.
Yeah.
To keep you awake and alive.
Oh my god.
Oh God, get his knees! Get them soft trousered knees.
Should have worn armour.
Let's talk about a lovely time you have had in your real actual life.
Yeah. Like recently or...
Could be any time. Anytime. Don't add stress to it.
Oh, shit.
Give me a parameter, quick.
I'll tell you what, like, I really enjoy and I think about regularly because I haven't had this itched for a while.
Oh, my God.
And what it is I used to regularly go to the quarry.
The quarry?
The quarry by where I lived in North Wales. Where I grew up.
An actual quarry? I was thinking it was a bar.
Quarry. Yeah,
I was like,
wasn't
go
it?
on.
No. This is definitely not a bar. I'm not having a lovely time in a bar. So I go to the quarry, and what you do sometimes. Originally, did it with my pals.
Yeah.
But then I started doing it solo because I was just so into it. Okay. Big empty quarry, a lot of corrugated iron in there. And what I'd do is I'd just get a big handful of gravel and just launch it at this iron, and it'd go like the ding, and like echo around the quarry. Because the quarry was, but it had so it's fantastic to be in it because it's this like Dolby Million sound effect thing, and but it's like really quiet, and then you're like intruding on this silence, and you feel powerful. But we later found out that it was quite loud, and it would scare the people of the village because they thought
the monster's back.
Yeah, there were kids who thought the quarry was like haunted. And they thought there was like rumours on the bus going to school about there being something up there. And that,
oh my God.
I'm not happy about it, but that really did add something to it.
That's incredible.
That you are, ultimately, frightening people.
You are so much more powerful now, looking at you now, I'm intimidated.
Yeah,
now
right.
I know you're a folk legend.
I haven't done it for a while, and I just want to let the listeners know that I was, to an extent, told these questions earlier, and that's not what I was thinking I was going to say. But I feel like it was more true.
It's authentic.
It's true. Do you know what I mean?
And do you know what? I can relate to it. You can't. Not when I'm looking you in the eye so much.
Looking me in the knees.
His knees are sweating. He's telling the truth. I can relate to that noise because I've been driving in my little Peugeot today, and neither of these things will surprise you. Yeah. In my passenger seat, I have got an empty can of Monster that's like squashed, thrown in the passenger seat. I was doing an 8-hour drive. I just have a Monster, just piss myself in the driver's seat. I can keep going.
Exactly.
So I've got that, but then, because I know I'm staying over at my friend's house, I bought a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi Max Cherry. Because, for example, I've just been to producer John's house. Did he have Pepsi Max Cherry? No. Couldn't be bothered to get it out of my car? No, but it wasn't a problem. It's all right, I had an orange juice. It's fine. But I have got this 2-litre bottle of Pepsi Max Cherry in the footwell of the passenger seat.
Nice.
And when I brake with any force, it pushes the can of Monster and it goes gang gang gang, and it makes me go fuck every time I think I've crashed.
I think it's your car.
I think it's my car. I think a wheel's come off, and I could have pulled over and rectified it, but I didn't. And the amount of time between me aggressively braking was just enough where I'd forget, I'd relax, my adrenaline would go down. I'd go, oh, that's a bit sudden. Brake, dang, 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 and that's exactly how I imagine you felt in the quarry. Am I right or am I wrong?
Pretty similar. I mean, it's the life. I get it. It's the life of the road comic, right? So you think that Monster Energy, one drink of that, like, kept you awake for a drive.
Yeah.
But what will really keep you awake for any drive is the constant threat of death. So, like, it's actually giving you a lot more than that initial spend on that.
You need that to get to Blackpool, because I genuinely wouldn't have made it without the gadang gadang.
Yeah.
So,
a big surge of adrenaline.
Yeah. Do you think adrenaline had a part in your lovely time?
Yeah, definitely.
Adrenaline and ADHD.
Combo. Absolutely.
Absolute mega combo. What a cocktail.
Hyper combo.
Of delight. Yeah. Now, I feel like I have outed you as ADHD, and
no one could have known.
I feel so, and if we need to cut that out, that's fine. I've just remembered, because if you have kept this in, Jack is a good friend and we used to live together, and I've just forgotten temporarily that this is a podcast, and I've just instantly just told you a medical diagnosis of his. Forgot we're recording it. But yeah, adrenaline is and as well as a performer, you sort of need a bit of adrenaline in your lovely times.
Do you ever get to a point where you're gigging too much and then you're like numb to gig adrenaline and then you need to make yourself nervous? I've started doing this where like you're like, oh, I'm not really afraid, so now I'm just going to act really afraid, like I'm stressed about this gig, and start pacing up and down in the green room and like going, and then you're like, oh shit, I've got myself really anxious now. But you just did it to yourself.
Got yourself into a tiz.
Yeah, intentionally.
That's brilliant. No, I've not done that.
Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah.
Sometimes if I need a wee, I don't do it because I feel, you know, like it gives me that extra bit of energy. But isn't that what Tony Blair did?
Yeah, but you know,
or was it
we're
Joey
not killing
from
Iraqi
Friends?
Kids. Yeah, Joey did that as well. Actually.
What, the Iraqi kids thing?
Yeah, but he just punched him so fucking ages. How you doing? Not any better after this. Never touched Tony's numbers though.
No.
Can't do it with a fist. You need the military-industrial complex.
Tony's the OG for killing Iraqi kids. It has to be said.
Although I do think Joey from Friends should be at The Hague.
And that's the soundbite for the episode. Okay, right. So we're building a picture.
Yeah.
We know in your lovely time we've liked adrenaline, quarries, becoming a folk lore myth.
Yeah.
So let's build your perfect lovely time. So there's no restrictions on this, Jack. You can be anywhere in the world at any point in history. And Jack, let me tell you, Jack knows history. Yeah. He's a history teacher. I'm not just...
Yeah. Amy's literally sat in front of a lot of books, many of which about the Nazis, which is giving her off an energy.
Nazis, actually.
Yeah.
Sort of didn't expect that of you, but no.
A lot of heavily annotated copies of Mein Kampf, and every annotation just says, yeah, question mark.
It's all highlighted with smiley faces all around it. It's weird, that one. What's this one? Hitler, my hero. What's...
Ladolf, as I call him.
Oh gosh. So yeah, you could be anywhere. There's no money restrictions.
Okay.
So let's think about where in the world you're going to be.
Can I be on the Starship Enterprise?
Yes.
Okay. So I think I'm going to be specifically on the Starship Enterprise Model D, which is the Enterprise from the Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think I'm going to go for about maybe season 3 of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Sort of Stardate 4300 onwards, 43000 onwards.
Could I press you to be a bit more niche? Because this is too vague, if anything.
I just, if people have questions, I'm answering it. So if you've got follow-ups, we're in space, we're having a great time.
Yeah.
And here's why I was thinking about this. So it's very difficult for me to think about a lovely time because I know what you should say. So a lovely time is like having a bath, going on holiday, watching my favourite programme, right? But
experiencing joy.
Yeah. I can perform experiencing joy.
Interesting.
Right. But because I know that is what you're supposed to do. And I can perform relaxation, but I can't actually do it. My brain is going, like, if I'm in a bath, my brain's going, what about this? If you thought about this, what about this? How many eggs could you, if you put eggs in this bath now, would they cook? Right? So, and then could you peel them? Could you have one in each hand and just peel them in the bath and eat them? Let's go get some eggs, right? I can't. So, let's keep it in the cut, John Stansfield. I have ADHD, which is essentially an inability for your brain to get enough dopamine. One of the ways I think I self-medicate and manage that is that with ADHD, you can work on things if you're interested in them. So if you genuinely, and sometimes even if you're interested in them, you can't, but you're more likely to be able to if you're like, have this thing of like hyper-focus, blah, blah, blah. But also the other thing you can do is react to deadlines and stress. So what I like to do is have a quite toxic cocktail of stuff I enjoy working on and just complement that with anything that if I don't necessarily want to do it, turn it into just a big pile of fucking stress. And then I'm on a knife edge where if I go too far, then I'll hit burnout and just completely glonk out. And then my lovely time will look like a man who is sat just still staring. And or the other side of the knife edge, which is that I'm insufficiently stressed, which also looks like a man sat still staring, but his head is in a very different place.
Oh,
so I've got to stay on the constant thing. So here's why I'd be on the Starship Enterprise. Because on the one hand, you're doing stuff you enjoy, because in Star Trek, everyone lives for the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of furthering understanding of humanity.
Love it.
Right? So that sounds fucking chill.
Yeah.
We can get up to, I can learn about whatever the fuck I want and get good at it and use it to further the experience of humankind and the knowledge of humankind. That's cool. I'm on board with that. I could go into a fucking holodeck and build science to erase my memory of playing the game Resident Evil 2 for the first time every day and then just play it for the first time. I can do that shit. And on the other hand, in Star Trek, every episode there's some sort of horrific threat that they've got to deal with, and they've got to fucking deal with it within the 45 minutes of the episode.
It's a deadline.
So it's a deadline. So it's a literal deadline. You will be dead if you fail to address this. But, and then there's the balance.
Oh, my God.
Right? So not only do I get to inhabit a franchise of which I very much enjoy, I believe it can embody the self-care methodology I have applied to my life.
This is it.
Which you might say is toxic. But I haven't got any other... I mean, I don't want to say, oh, Jack, what's your idea of a lovely time? Oh, could you just delete my current personality and way of being and turn me into a neurotypical person who can just, I don't know, have a bath?
I'd like to go for brain surgery and have a different brain implanted if that's possible. So is this happening? That's brilliant because you've worked out what you need in your actual real life. And you do that. You give yourself these deadlines and you get involved in projects that you love, but you're not on the Starship Enterprise. And that's
the problem.
That's the key element there.
They've done post-scarcity, possibly communism. So if we could just collectively do that... Yeah. That'd really ramp up. That'd be a lovely time for me.
This is a very naive question.
Drop it. Go.
Sir, as someone who is aware of Star Trek, but not the ins and outs of it, so say the Star Trek Enterprise is inhabited by communists. Yeah. Let's say that. Is that true?
That is up for debate. You'll really rile some people up if you say that. I think it might be. It's some form of it's some sort of post-scarcity something, but it's also quite hierarchical because it's a military organisation. But we haven't got. Okay, we haven't got
there's not the time. There's not the time.
No one's interested.
Well, my question to make it vaguer is is the society that exists on the Starship Enterprise at the time when that is in the universe.
24th century, stardate 3000 onward.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, March.
After
I was going to say. Yeah. March of that year, I was going to say, but whatever you want to say.
So everyone in the show's starting to sort their Edinburgh show out.
You're booking in previews. Yeah. Is it just on the ship? Is it just the Star Trek people that have that system and then beliefs? Or is it more broad? Is the universe better, or is it just this collection of people?
Well, the Alpha Quadrant
of
the Milky Way galaxy under the control of the Federation, of which Starfleet, which the Enterprise is part of, certainly has a sort of similar civilizational model to that.
So Starfleet, so the Starship Enterprise is one ship that is part of a Starfleet, like a county in a country.
You've nailed it. You fucking smashed it out of the park.
Oh God, I'm feeling good about this. Okay, all right, okay. So you're part of a good society as well, and knowing you, that's very important for your lovely time.
Yeah. I don't want to be having a lovely time, but knowing that every single aspect of my lovely time was built by slaves.
It does take the edge off it, sure.
We're talking into now, recording into my PC, and it's got machinery in it, and it's got ray tracing in it, right?
What's that?
It's fucking traces the rays, Amy, right? But I tell you what, I think who built that, they weren't having a lovely time. And it really does. You know, like you enable, like you think, oh yeah, I'm going to do some escapism to stop thinking about how horrible everything is. But then, you know, you glance to you just take a little peek at the machine that's enabling your lovely time and think, oh
no, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's good. Yeah, good society.
A good society.
One.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's change gear and let's bring it to what are you eating and drinking?
Fuck, mate. Now, this is
There
the
we
reason
go.
I picked Star Trek. So in Star Trek, they acquire food through a machine called a replicator. And what the replicator does is it's a machine, looks a bit like a microwave in the wall, and you go to it and you just say, can I have 3 onion bhaji's, please?
No.
And then it goes boop, boop, beep, beep. And then you've got 3 onion bhaji's, right? Now, think about it. If you have 3 onion bhaji's for every meal, your arteries are going to become so clogged, and then eventually a piece of the clogged artery is going to snap off, go up your bloodstream and smash into your brain and detonate you from the inside, right? You're going to fucking die, right? But if an onion barge is replicated according to Starfleet standards, it has the taste, flavour and sensation of the true bargie, but none of the negatives.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
Yeah, so I'm going to be having I'm going to be having chippy tea. I'm going to be having 6 bhaji's and a korai and a garlic naan
This is insane.
for fucking lunch.
And you're going to feel better than you
I'm
did
going to
at
feel
the start.
strong. Yeah, I'm probably having a more balanced diet because they're just putting whatever I need into whatever I'm having.
This
6
is called
Big
a
Macs.
replicator.
It's called a replicator.
I'm going to look on Amazon for that. I
Yeah,
better
it's
got
pretty-
one.
You need to get on it, Bezos. If you're going into space, you need to get sorting all this stuff.
Oh my God, that's
Right.
brilliant. So you can have anything you want.
Anything. And what I'd have... Well, obviously, you've got the problem of if you have the thing that you want most multiple times and it becomes easy, then does it take the edge off it. But if we're talking about a singular lovely time...
Yeah.
My breakfast is probably going to be poached eggs on a kind of nice brown bread toasted with like red pepper hummus and some like fried mushrooms, bit of basil, maybe some sort of crushed chili flakes. And then for lunch...
Jack's an excellent chef, by the way.
Thank you.
Just pointing that out for the listeners so they know that what Jack's imagining is top quality. It's not bath poached eggs. It's up there. It's really high
That
quality.
tastes really fucking soapy.
Is that imperial leather?
Yeah, is this original sauce? It's burning inside of my mouth. But how did someone replace this yolk with original sauce? Mint.
And why is it still making my balls tingle?
This replicator's fucked, but I tell you what, my cock is hard because I'm in slight pain, but I'm safe. So yeah, I've been replicating all kinds of shit. But you don't even have to cook it. You just ask for
This
it.
is incredible. And is it instantaneous or is it like, oh wow?
Zoot, and then it's there. And you can just smash it down. And if you don't finish it all, you put it back in, and then the materials are recycled back into the system.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
It's a perfect world.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Whatever we want, pure Dr. Pepper. For the reason, see, me and Amy have got a favoured. So again, this is another ADHD thing. It's really been into caffeine because the receptors for dopamine in your brain are the same as the caffeine ones, right? So Amy, huge fan, I know, of Cherry Pepsi Max, right? And I'm completely with you. The amount of willpower I have to exercise daily to not fucking start absolutely smashing down can after can of, in my case, Dr. Pepper, which, you know, some may say, oh, it's just a combination of cherry Coke and root beer. There's nothing good about that. No, it's
incredible.
It's the only doctor I will take a prescription from, right? Even if the prescription is death. So I have to not cane it. But then again, if it's coming from a replicator, I can drink it and then have an enema at the same time. It's good for me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper. I've got an IV drip of it. I'm drinking it. I've got another IV drip of it.
And how does the replicator work with alcohol?
Well, see, this is a problem. They have something called synthahol because you don't want to be in a workplace and then, you know, the Klingons attack. Shit,
Sure.
it's red alert. They're using photon torpedoes.
And you're
There's damage to
battered.
the hull and you are out of your fucking skull, right? on mojitos.
You're doing karaoke.
So you got to be on it. So synthahol does actually not only simulate the flavour of alcohol, but does simulate the effects. However, you can will yourself to no longer be drunk on synthahol. And the problem with synthahol is that is one of the areas where in the lore of the show it isn't quite as good as the real stuff. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that does sound good.
That's one of the downsides. But I've never been a big alcohol head. I'm all about the sugar. The sugar
You
fucking
are about
train.
the sugar. Yeah.
Oh my God. Sugar. Choo baby. That shit. For alcoholism, everyone's like, oh no, let's have a little group, Alcoholics Anonymous. Sugar hasn't got there yet. Tell you what, though, that shit fucks you up.
Yeah.
So,
and we're all addicts.
yeah, oh my God, it's good.
It's very good. I'm sat here with a Coke next to me only because Pepsi Max Cherry wasn't available at the time. It's all right. It's going to be fine. Who's with you in this?
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
Worf.
Yeah.
Deanna Troi.
Yeah.
Dr. Beverly Crusher. William Riker.
Yeah.
Commander William Riker.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Data.
Yeah. Anyone not from Star Trek or?
Chris Cantrell.
Yeah, definitely. What would Chris be doing? So Christopher Cantrell is
He's got a little rucksack.
he's got he's always got a little
He's got a
rucksack.
rucksack and he goes, do you want a Dr. Pepper? And he gives me a Dr. Pepper, or he's got a very nice, like niche bespoke beer he's got from somewhere. I go, oh, thanks, Chris. Where'd you get this? And he goes, I just really like the art on it. And but it's dead nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be a brand that's like a massive brand that everyone's heard of, but he won't have heard of it, and he'll be talking to you about it like he'll be like, it's amazing. It's this brewery called Brewdog, and they're gonna be big. I think they're gonna get one in London, and then they're gonna get a shop in Manchester, and I got it off the internet for 500 quid. I think Chris would be great to have on board.
Yeah, he'd be loving it with his little heart of gold.
Would you have him as like a PA?
No, I think I'd just quite like to see Chris in a context of a futuristic military organisation, because I think he'd cause quite a lot of stress. But he'd also, I think he'd whip. I think stuff could be improved, and I think he could do it. Do you know what I mean? He's a project manager.
Yeah. He's going to be asking for Billy Bear sandwich ham from the Replicator.
Yeah, absolutely.
And blowing people's minds. Captain Luke Picard will not have tried Billy Bear sandwich ham.
Yeah.
And I think it'll change his life.
It will.
It might make him a real bad man, though.
Yeah. Me and Chris can run a gig in the holodeck.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Would you want to be involved in comedy on your lovely day?
Yeah. Of course,
Would you?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. I'd put on a gig. Put on a fucking. Let's do the Jane Edwards show in the holodeck on the Enterprise.
On the Enterprise.
I'd be buzzing for it. I think it's one of the cool things about that show is like they live in the future, but sort of subtly in an episode there'll be a bit where like a character's just written some poetry, and then they'll all go to their poetry recital because they're not making. And also there'll be no like, oh shit, we're all worried about Edinburgh because who fucking gives a fuck? We're in a post-scarcity communism to do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So everyone's just chill. So you're just making it for the love of it.
This is brilliant.
Right?
This is great. Okay, so we've got what you're doing, where you are, what you're eating, what you're drinking, who you're with. What would spoil it? What one little thing? Who's on the ship where you'd be like, oh, is that? Oh, no, you're joking. What they're doing here?
Big Ed George turning up would be dreadful.
Who?
Oh, he's my bully from high school.
Right.
Big Ed George. He's got big, massive head. But it's like flat. It's hard to explain on a podcast. It's like as if his head was like a plate and it was flat. Do you know what I mean? Not flat. Yeah, flat as if you're looking at it. But then if he turned his head, you'd be like, that's fucking narrower than I thought. So his head's big. So he's got everything a head needs. So he's got all the normal brain and everything.
Right.
But it's
like
Big
a
Ed
bus.
George.
Like you see a bus from the side and you go, that's big. And you might presume it would be fully, rectangular. But then from the side, it's actually quite narrow.
Yeah, if he turned up, I'd really fucking egg the vibe. If he turned up generally, I'd be like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
He works in an abattoir now.
Of course he does.
I looked on Facebook. He might not. About 5 years ago, I popped on his Facebook. I thought he works in an abattoir.
they're not good people that work in abattoirs.
No.
I know someone who knew someone who works in an abattoir. It was my ex's friend.
How big was their head?
It's big and flat, actually.
Yeah.
No,
Big Ed George.
he had a very round face.
Yeah.
But he got sacked from the abattoir.
All right.
Listen to this.
Go on.
Oh, it's so grim. He got sacked from the abattoir because they kept finding sovereign ring marks in the pigs' heads.
This is Big Ed George.
He's punching the pigs. I don't know if he's punching when they're alive or they're dead.
He's wearing Rockport shoes.
Cause he was, Jack.
It's Big Ed George.
He was born in. He was born in them big brown boots, unlaced with a bit of white paint on them.
Yeah. Did he have a Limp Bizkit hoodie?
He had a corn hoodie, or that Nirvana one, which is with the yellow face, smiley face.
Yeah.
Oh, sovereign ring marks in there. I've never forgotten that. I got told that about 15 years ago.
That's dark.
What's he doing?
Punching a pig to death with a sovereign ring fist.
But where does that end?
With a dead pig. Then I guess you move on to the next one.
Yeah, but then he's sacked. So now what's he punching?
Why'd they sack him? He's doing his fucking job.
I know.
Job description of abattoir. Right, come in, kill these fucking pigs. What, in an air, Paul? Looks like you've killed this pig. Yeah, I punched it to death. You're supposed to use the fucking gun.
Saving your money.
I'm saving money, eh? I've been practising with these rings. I'm going to get a knuckle duster off Amazon.
We said kill him, don't punch him.
Yeah. Just watch you uppercut a swine on CCTV.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah, that would ruin it. That would ruin it,
Yeah,
wouldn't it? If Big Ed George was there, or any pig punchers would probably ruin it.
Yeah.
I think we've got the entire day.
So
Is there anything you want to add? Are you wearing like comfy socks? Is there any little bonus details that would make your day just the icing on the cake would be?
I mean, they're already wearing very comfy clothing in Star Trek. They tend to be wearing sort of pyjamas, from what
brilliant.
I can see. A military where you wear pyjamas.
Come on, this is good.
No, I think we've nailed it. I think we've nailed it.
I love this.
Within the framework of not talking about just deleting my own brain.
I think that's sort of what we've done here. We've put you in space in the future on the Starship Enterprise with the crew and Chris Cantrell. You're flying around, you're eating whatever you want, you're having poached eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
Upwards of 6 onion barges. No one's stopping you,
Dangerous.
Jack. You got your Dr. Pepper. This is all a good day. It doesn't matter about the weather because you're in space.
No.
What song? There's a moment where you can listen to Lossless, Limitless.
No shit.
Audio.
Oh my God.
You get to go into a special music room on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's just you.
With a FLAC file.
With a FLAC file as big as your head. As big as Big George's head.
Yeah. That's huge.
What are you going to listen to?
I should probably say like a cool, cool bit of music.
Yeah.
But I looked at my, Spotify list that says what you were listening to.
Yeah.
And I've absolutely been caning the Attack on Titan Season 1 anime soundtrack to a level that is medically concerning. So if I'm honest with myself, it'd be that.
I love it.
Until the dopamine runs out, and then I'll go on something else. Which probably something equally loud and sinister with no singing. Bloodborne soundtrack.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, we're under attack by the Klingons. Where's Jack Lewis Evans? He's in the holodeck listening to his very scary anime music. You won't hear you knock.
I and they'll be munching onion barges as well, so it'd be a bit confusing. God, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
You've nailed that.
so.
You've done very well.
I'm pleased. Thank you. I respond well to praise.
Thanks so much for having a chat to me in your own house.
You're welcome.
That's been a lovely time for me. Yeah. Got to inspect your wall painting skills.
I haven't done this room.
Have a look at your curtains. Have a look at your kitchen. The kitchen's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just getting there. It's a lot of damp.
It's very nice. Thank you for coming up. What would you like to plug, Jack?
Mandatory Redistribution Party podcast.
Yeah.
With my co-host Sean Morley. The Jane Edwards Show.
Yeah.
Which is a regular night in Manchester, produced by a lovely time. Titanous Girls Season 2 coming 2056.
But there might be a Christmas episode, maybe,
Well,
but we'll see. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I hear it.
Hey. Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jack Evans. Woo!
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you.
Producer John, please clap.
Oh, sorry.
Woo! Yeah! Yes! In person.
Big Union Jack. Yeah. Right, yeah. I'll go back up.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Lovely time on the Starship Enterprise sounds better than anyone else's. So well done, Gene Roddenberry and his pals. You've given Jack Lewis Evans the one place he can truly enjoy himself and get out of his brain. We're just so sorry it's fictional. And thanks to Jack for doing that. Do listen to his podcast, the brilliant Mandatory Redistribution Party podcast, if you don't already, and attend the Jane Edwards Show in person in Manchester on Thursday, the 16th of December. Oh, and thanks to you, of course, for listening. What bloody superstars. And if you'd like to have a lovely time in person, come to the next live show on Saturday, the 4th of December with Jordan Brooks, Alison Spittle, Erin Tett, and me, if you can believe such a thing. We'll be back next week with another episode, so do join us then for, say it with me, a lovely time.
This podcast is made by A Lovely Time Productions and hosted by Amy Gledhill, with music by Jack Evans.
If you listen to one of them and you hate it, you'll probably hate all of them. But if you listen to one of them and you like it, you'll probably like all of them.
And that's it.